Today on the channel, we're going to be talking about artists who are generally considered great. They are legends in the history of music. They are legends in their genres, legends in their lanes. They are known for making fantastic, great, classic music, but they drop low. They drop low. They drop low. When it's bad, it's really bad. It's really bad. They have it in them to drop a true, awful stinker of an album. So yes, this is what we're doing today. Artists that are great, but they have terrible albums. Yeah, let's go there. I've got 5 in mind. I've got 5 on the cusp of my brain that I want to be discussing today. And I want to see you guys in the comments. Let me know your thoughts as well. I want to see you guys suggesting albums by artists that you think are great, but they did drop the ball and drop something really bad. Because honestly, I think when I was looking through albums to include for this video, it was actually quite hard to find. Like, I think this is rarer than you think. I think it's rare to see an artist that is genuinely considered amazing, but then they can drop something truly abysmal. So yeah, definitely interested to see what people think in the comments. I'm not going to agree with Weezer though, because they're not in this video, and I don't think Weezer have enough great albums to be called great anymore. Like, come on, man. The majority of their career has just been people wanting them to drop the Blue album again and them never being able to do it. Like, they do not have enough great albums to be called great, guys. Come on, let's just let go of Weezer now. Give it up. It's time we call it a day. Just play the Blue album and leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, as always, check out my Patreon, check out the membership page if you want to support me over there. You got plenty of cool perks if you want to check that out and support me over on this channel. I spend a lot of my free time doing this every week for you guys to give you guys great content. Well, hopefully it's great content. Who knows? But yeah, thank you as always for supporting. And yeah, let's go. Going with the album that basically inspired this entire video, if I'm being honest. This album, as of recording this video, has just come out. Man, this was the guy that they were crying about for not getting the Super Bowl. You were crying, guys. You were friggin' mad that this man did not get the Super Bowl. Are you insane? What the hell was all that fake outrage about? Do you see what we're saying now? Do you get it now? Do you concede this one? Or are you still going to tell us that he deserved the Super Bowl after this? And I'm sorry, man. This isn't the first strike against Lil Wayne's name. This is not the first strike against Lil Wayne's name. He has done this before. He has previous. He has given us Rebirth, which I could have included in this video. Like, seriously, there are so many contenders for Lil Wayne at this point that is starting to damage his legacy for me. Like, I'm looking at his catalog, I'm looking at the history of what he's put out, and I know there are some real serious hip-hop heads that will probably, you know, ambush me for saying this, but I don't know if the peaks and the highs of his career are high enough anymore now, because there are just so many lows. Like, it's really dragging it all down when you look at it. And you look at these awful songs that this man puts out, the awful, lazy lyrics that he puts together that people call, like, intentional, and some of it is funny, obviously, but I think at this point he's actually not really thinking about what he's writing, and he's just saying anything, and I don't think it's as funny as people make it out to be. Like, I don't know, man. Some of it obviously is funny, but it's almost like so bad it's good type funny, to be honest with you. And I think Wayne's rapping is just completely deteriorated, and I think, yeah, looking back at his career now, the highs just aren't high enough to justify this low. Like, these lows are becoming more and more common, and the highs just aren't high enough. It's pulling it all down. I've already said it, but yeah, it's bad. It's bad. The Peanuts to Elephant, whatever friggin' song that was, is outrageous. Everyone's already pointed out that it sounds like a video game villain level boss battle type shit. Like, oh my god. The lyrics on a lot of these tracks is horrendous as well. The features, Jelly Roll. We're really trying hard to make Jelly Roll a thing. Can we talk about that as well? Why the hell are we trying so hard to make this man a thing? We keep putting him on hip-hop songs as well, which is not sounding good. This is sounding like some Florida Georgia Line shit from the early 2010s. We do not need to see Lil Wayne with this man on an album. It is pushing, with the features particularly, like revival levels of crap at times. Like, these features are so bad, and it's so like soulless, and it zaps the life out of you listening to these songs. It's so forced, and it's so trying desperate to have like a radio hit moment. Lil Wayne cares way too much about that as well. I think he should just really focus on his rapping. Get him off the drugs for a bit, dude, and just really like clean yourself up and focus on your rapping, because at this point, like, this is so low. It's really low, man. Not many rappers get this bad. And not many legendary rappers, I will say, get this bad. When you're in legend status, you need to keep that intact. You are just making music for the sake of it at this point, dude. Pusha T was right. No. Speaking of revival, you didn't think I was going to exclude that, did you? Come on, man. Revival, Eminem. Oh, you got Pink on there. You got Ed Sheeran on there. That album just was an absolute failure from the jump, really. Just some of the worst bars Eminem's ever put out. And yeah, I mean, when you look at that first 3-album run in Eminem's catalogue, which, by the way, he hasn't even come close to ever. Like, I'm not the biggest Eminem fan, and I was kind of and ahhing even including him on this list, because to me personally, I'm not even a big fan of his classic stuff. That's a bit of a controversial take that I, again, probably need to be careful saying, because I might get ambushed. But yeah, a lot of it isn't that great to me, but I can at least value there was a purpose to what he did back then. There was a clear, crazy rapping talent that is pretty generational when you think about it. Like, Eminem had skills that not a lot of rappers at his time really could come close to. I think that's why he's become so respected in the hip-hop world, because yes, a lot of his success has really come down to the fact that he's the white man in a black-dominated genre, and I think a lot of, America, UK, white-dominated countries by race are just going to flock to that white guy, right? It is very obvious how he got so big, but the talent was there, right? The talent was clearly there, and yeah, just dead post what? 2009? Like, I don't know. When was the last time Eminem sounded genuinely amazing? There's been a few tracks here and there on his albums. I remember liking a couple off of Music to Be Murdered By. I don't think that was a huge low in his career compared to something like a Revival. It was still mediocre, but it wasn't like a real low. And I guess the Marshall Mathers LP2 again, a couple of tracks I thought kind of okay, but like nothing I'd go back to. But yeah, it's been bad for a long time. The last album was just tiring for me. Houdini is goofy as hell. Yeah, it's not as bad as Revival, but it's still all pretty bad. And yeah, for a point where you had the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, like, this guy had something. It's just lost. The bars are so cringe as well. So cringe. Teetering away from hip-hop now and focusing on a pop legend, Madonna, who, again, is an artist who is super influential, just like the other two I've talked about, super impactful, has hits for days, could seriously be the greatest pop star ever when you think of just the sheer amount of quality pop hits she's got over so many different decades. And now she's just kind of an embarrassment. And Madam X is atrocious. A real desperate attempt for an artist who is clearly past their prime, clearly, who wants to be so desperately relevant. So you've got the Quavo feature, you've got the Sway Lee feature. For some reason, these are the names on this album. Like, I think a lot of people skip this one. So you're probably really surprised if you haven't heard it to hear that Quavo and Sway Lee made it onto a Madonna album. But no, she's really trying so hard to land on the many trends that were going on at the time, and still are going on in modern music as well. Like there's some like Latin reggaeton tracks as well. It all just sounds like a pale imitation of those things that were already being done better elsewhere. And some of it, like again, like the Quavo stuff, like wasn't even that great in its prime, if we're being real. Like obviously Migos at one time were fun, had bangers. Quavo's been good for features over the years, but like he by 2019 had already started to get tiring. It already started to get boring hearing him on every friggin' rap album known to man. He's been kind of replaced by like a Lil Baby at this point now. Like he's that version of what Quavo once was, where every album you just see a friggin' Lil Baby feature, or you see a Playboy Carti feature, or whatever, yada yada yada. Like Don Toliver, I guess, as well. Any of those names, really. Like, yeah, that had already started to get boring by then. So seeing Madonna desperately try and claw some of that relevancy back, and she was doing it in the 2010s as well, like that album that had some of the more like banger stuff on, that was very clearly trying to cling on to the trend at the time. And it's sad to see, really, because you never really thought of Madonna as being somebody that was hanging on for dear life. She was the one, at the top, kind of dictating where the trends would go and doing things that were bold and doing things that not many other artists would dare to do. Ray of Light, like I don't think many modern pop stars would really detour completely into a different genre like that. Only name that I could come up with really that would dare is Beyonce. And like she's the kind of artist that would dare to do that. But yeah, Madonna now, just rough, isn't it? Just rough. Another legend in their field. This time we're talking about a metal band. You're probably going to guess it from the fact that I've just said metal. But the legends Metallica came through with Saint Anger in 2003. Oh my lord, man. This is a great example. And you should really use this album for a study piece, to be honest with you. Because sometimes in music, it's hard to explain why something, and it could just be a one specific element of the music that just doesn't work. And sometimes it's really hard to explain how or why it does, unless you kind of compare it to things that really do work and then put that next to something that really doesn't work. And it can be things like mixing, production, those things come up a lot, the vocals, the lyrics as well can just be the downfall of an album, like I was just saying with the Lil Wayne stuff, for example. Although that's not the only problem with Lil Wayne at this point, but yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. This album, I think if you want to hear how drumming is done well, and then put it next to an album where drumming is really not done well, you want to play them Saint Anger. And I cannot explain to you for the life of me why this just sounds so hideous. But the drumming here is absolutely crazy. Like, what is going on? I know there's always been a bit of a meme with Metallica and the drummer being the weak point of the band. But in their classic prime days, the 80s, 90s, I personally don't think it sounds like it's a problem. I think it sounds like it fits the music they're going for. I think it's great. But here, it's atrocious. I can't explain why. It just sounds tinny. It sounds like messy. It sounds ham-fisted. It sounds like it's going at a speed that the rest of the song isn't going at. It's so weird. It's so disorientating, but it sounds grim. Like, it really, really makes the rest of the song just sound so awful and messy and not in sync. It's very strange, but yeah, most Metallica fans do consider this a low point of their career, so it's not a massive hot take to really say this. But yeah, even like some of the vocal performances, like what is it, Some Kind of Monster, and it's like really growly and like sounds pathetic, to be honest with you. Like, I don't want to just completely just say this album's bad because of the drumming, because honestly there are many other qualities, like I say, with some of the vocals, some of the writing generally, and even just the performances like don't sound that exciting when you're sitting through it. Comparatively, again, if you're going to make that comparison to their previous work, it just all sounds like a pale imitation of what makes Metallica good. but yet the same band that made the good things is making this. It's very strange, but yeah. And finally, we're going to close off with an artist who I consider a personal modern favorite. I think he's one of the best of our time, all genres. Incredible talent, produces everything he does, writes really well, raps really well, comes up with some incredible, unique concepts that not many other rappers or, again, artists of our time are able to touch. But in his early days, he was a bit shit. Tyler, the Creator, and I'm going to go with Goblin, because I actually think Bastard, if I squint, I can kind of see a vision there. I can kind of get it. I can kind of sort of make out what he's trying to do. Goblin is just atrocious to me. There are some good things on Goblin. I've always said this, you know, She, Yonkers, classics for Tyler. Still performs them to this day. I actually saw him perform live about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think now. Those songs went off. The fans loved it. Like, those songs still stand up. So this album might have a slight edge on the other albums I've mentioned in this video, because those albums don't really have many redeeming qualities, where at least I can say there are 2 songs on this one that I'm okay with. But other than that, I just think Tyler knew what he was doing at this time, really. The whole point was to be shocking. The whole point was to be brutal, edgy, say the most hideous thing he can think of because he knows it will just get a reaction. He was like it in interviews as well. I think the whole thing was probably just a misguided young person just kind of trying to find a way to be, taken a bit more seriously, or taken a bit more like, I am here, you need to pay attention to me because I'm going to say things that you will not like to hear. And that can work, I think, to a real less extent than what he's doing here. Like, I think you have to take it in a way that works. But often it does just sound like edgy teenagers saying edgy things. And yeah, I don't know, man. If you're like a 4chan stan or something, maybe you'd like this album. But most normal real life people don't really speak like this and don't really value this kind of thing. And again, there's a place for this. I don't want to completely diminish it and act like horrorcore and that kind of stuff. Because again, Eminem, that was his whole thing back in the day too, and it worked for him, and it caused a lot of controversy. But it was purposeful, it was artful, and it was done in a way that was meant to be playing to some kind of character and that kind of thing. So yeah, Tyler's clearly pulling from that and having influence from that as well. But yeah, it's just a good example of how it can be done really badly wrong. And look at what Tyler says nowadays, man. Like, he can't stand this stuff. He talks about it in interviews. He hates it. He knows that the production wasn't where it is to now. He knows his writing wasn't really there. He knows the kind of kid he was. Like, he admits it now. And that's why he only picks like 2 songs from this album to ever play live. And even then, he will kind of take the piss out of the fans, if you see in some videos, where he's like, why do you guys even want me to play this? Like, why do you guys even like this? And then he'll proceed to play it anyway. Go figure, I guess. But yeah, it's just a mess, really. It sounds hideous, and it's got all of the bad qualities that isn't there in Tyler's music now. And I think that's only for the better, because things like, Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, even Chromacopia, maybe to a slightly lesser extent, are going to age really well. And I think a lot of fans of Tyler will grow with those albums and love them years down the line, whereas things like Goblin, I think, will probably just get forgotten and not really cared about. And that is it from me. I'm going to call it there. Those are my 5 picks for great artists who can make something really poo, essentially. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Would love to see you guys pick out some ones. I could do another one of this in the future if you guys come up with some good examples that I would be willing to include in a future video. But yeah, as always, stick around for more content, subscribe, like the video, do all that good stuff. Share with a friend, put it on Twitter, something. Just get the channel out there. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I do. And yeah, shout out to my Patreons as well, all the supporters over on the membership page. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for supporting me, keeping this going. Have a good day, and goodbye.